I
Anju ma'am, sorry for the disturbance. We can't hear you, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm sorry that you are not audible for us.
Uh, Still now you're not able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Now we are audible, ma'am. Thank you for your response, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am. All the best.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I once again welcome you all for Beyond Education, inspiring stories to inspire the world. It is a unique talk show organized by IDYM, Igniting Dreams of Young Minds. It is a foundation that is working in 195 countries and all the continents of the world. And its main motto is to educate the children about space and satellite education. And it's really proud that we are really fortunate to be associated with IDYM, an organization that has given free space and satellite trainings to more than 1.5 lakh children around the world. And let me talk in short about our show, Beyond Education. It is quite long, nearly more than 6 months that this show has been running. And in this show, we have invited till now a number of people. Might be in few days, we will be reaching 200, in which we have speakers from different parts of the world with different professions, educators, trainers, entrepreneurs, fashion designers, and many more. And so I take this privilege to welcome our today's guest. Yes, we have an educator today, Mr. Krishna N. Parker. She is the principal of Mihali School from Dahej, Gujarat. So I welcome you, ma'am, for this show. And I hope we are going to have another interactive session. Ma'am, just unmute yourself. So, Krishna, ma'am, firstly, I would like to know from you. You're an educator now, but I would like to know a little bit of your background. So, would you just introduce yourself in short? Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Right. Yes. A little bit about myself. I'm actually very blessed to have been, belonging to a family which is interested in a lot of literature, and it has a good educational background. And my cousins, my friends, they have all been into literature, into writing books. And from there, actually, my interest also in literature grew. And at the same time, with a backup of good educational institutions, like having studied in colleges and schools like Jesus and Mary. So I also developed a keen interest in history and in literature at the same time. And whatever knowledge that I gained from the various institutions and my studies, I just wanted to share it with everybody. And later, like after completing my studies, I realized that education, or you can say like teaching field is the best profession for where I can share that knowledge, whatever I have gained. And that's how I'm here in the past, around 30 plus years now into the field as a teacher, now as a leader with the equal number of years, both as a teacher and as a leader. Yes. The journey has been quite long and quite fulfilling, quite fruitful. Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. More than 30 years of experience in the teaching field. That's really an amazing thing to know. And you said somewhere you have interest and you felt that teaching is a very noble profession in which you can be sharing your knowledge with others. Of course, it is.
Yes, that's exactly why it changed into my passion. The teaching gradually changed into passion. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Ma'am, but now we would like to know a little bit of your journey as an educator. Like, you must have started from some school. So, will you tell, like, from where you started? Like, from you must have started from school as a teacher, and now you are the principal. So, how was this 30 years of journey? Can you just tell in short about it?
Various institutions. I would actually. You want me to name the institutions as such? You want me to
It's
name
up
this?
to you, ma'am. It's up to you. If you want to tell the institution, you can mention it. Otherwise, just in short about your journey, how
I
you
would
got.
say that I have been blessed to have started my education journey. I mean, as an educator, as a teacher, from very reputed schools, the reputed schools of wherever I have been, like whether it is Varanasi, whether it is, Delhi, or, abroad, like in Muscat, elsewhere. So, like, that has actually enriched the experience all the more. So, it has added to my profile, all these institutes that I have worked with. And God has been very kind to me for giving me, such grand platforms from where I could start my journey. And as a principal, yes, this is, the currently where I'm, heading the school. This is my third project as the founder principal, as a founder head. So, that is quite challenging, especially at this age now. So, but then I, since it is a passion, and I would like to challenge myself. I'm in competition with my own self. And that's how, I'm heading this institution with a lot of enthusiasm. And more so because the trustees of this particular institute that where I have just recently joined, it's been just 3 months, is the ideology actually what, with which they have started this institution. Because coming from a very humble background and rising to, to where they are today, they want to give back to the society. And it's a, a not-for-profit organization, which has actually attracted me too much to join very much, So giving back to the society, in a way, actually all teachers give back to the society, right? But, business background, okay, building a school, especially in a place where there is no good, like a school with a, large infrastructure, state-of-the-art school building and other facilities, and that also catering to the people, especially who are, in the vicinity, who belong to mostly, like a working class, like a lower working class, or you may say village children also. So that is the vision of the trustees, and that is what actually attracted me to accept this job of mine, this work of mine. Yes, right. So this
Yeah,
school
that's
is known as
super.
yeah. The school is known as Mehali, and of course Mehali has a Sanskrit connotation, but it is also actually, it's an acronym of our trustees' parents. They have actually devoted the institute. They have named this institute after, planning for an acronym, of the mother and the father, the trustees' mother and the father. And so that's how Mehali name has come. But of course, Mehali has a Sanskrit connotation also, which means, stronger, and it also means, to spread the light. So the meaning is actually very, very apt to the institution. Yeah. The educational institution that they inspire to. Yes.
That's a great name that you were telling me, Nihali, which means like being strong. Yeah, and
The
as
trustee
you
has
said, yeah,
the trustee has named it after his parents, so which is something very appealing, and which is, it's not only dedication to the parents, and it is like dedication to the vision of the parents also, fulfilling that vision. So that is what appealed to me as well. Yes. And the meaning, that if we go by, the meaning, that also has quite a meaning, which, it supports the education institute in the way it should.
That's super. And you told about your school, how it was set up, and the trustees have set up the schools. It's actually a dedication for their parents.
Yes.
And one more thing that I liked, that was really appealing, I can say, that you are the founder principal.
Yeah.
Third time. That's again great. Ma'am, but yes, being a principal, it does lot of responsibilities and lots of, challenges, we can say, lot of difficulties sometimes. But
Yes.
in
Yes.
your case, not just being a principal, but you are also a founder principal. So I think being a founder principal, there must be more of work, more of workload, more of pressure. So can you just tell about any kind of such challenges that you have faced being a principal?
Challenges, I would say that, challenges, as you said, they're supposed to be faced and overcome. For me, what I feel is challenges are not to be pronounced to the world that, yes, this is this, and this is a challenge for me, right? If I overcome it, it's a daunting task, of course, as you said, a lot of things, and as a founder principal, all the more. But what I feel is, I become stronger. Okay, I build myself with confidence. Once I perform by taking that challenge, rather than pronouncing it or talking about it, let my work speak. That is what I feel. Yes.
Course.
See, the infrastructure can be very fancy, very big. There are so many. The building. It's just a building, right? But what happens inside the building is what matters, of course. And that is where actually the real work needs to be done. And we are working on it. I have a fantastic team with me, and who is equally, instead of me hand holding them, they are hand holding me. So that we are all the even the teachers that I have, my people that I have, they are also the founders of the school. They are laying the basis, right? So it's not that only I am the founder principal, it is they also who are the founders of this institution. Equally, they are also facing the same challenges, and in fact, more than me, they are the ones who will be facing the challenges in the classroom. And that is where the the real task need to be achieved, right? That is what I feel. I mean, it is. So challenges, of course, they will always remain. They will always come. Okay, it is how you overcome challenges. And I am a kind of person who have faced challenges, whether on the personal front or on professional front, throughout. And 32 years is not a less time to narrate the challenges, because there'll be too many and volumes can be filled in. Right? If I, talk about challenges.
Yeah, of course, if you talk about challenges, yes. And one thing that is worth appreciating is that you are a very good leader, I can say, because you just said not only I am the founder principal, all the teachers are founder members, and I have a very good team. So that was really, worth appreciating, because yes, not only you're not only on the leadership position, but you are a very good leader. I think because you are, appreciating everyone, and you're valuing the work done by each and every one of your each of your teachers. So that's really great. That's really great. And I think we need more
system has actually, metamorphosed into a totally different, there's a totally different scenario, right? Now teachers do not remain teachers; they also are educators, right? So when we use the word teacher, it is something different. When you use the word educator, so educator, has to cater to, all the fields, all the developments, inside and outside the classroom, right, for the child. So that's the reason it is for any leader, if, the teachers, they work with the leader, I think the institution will work greater. it will be work. It will create a good repute, right?
Yes, of course, we have to create an environment. And one more question, because as when you started, you told about something about your family background that are very much attached to literature and arts. So,
Yes.
have you written something about any kind of books, blogs?
I haven't written books because, see, I'm not a prolific writer as such. But yes, I have a keen interest. I'm a voracious reader, right? And of course, there are certain things which I am writing right now. And maybe most probably in the month of September, the book will be released. Let's see. I don't want to spill the beans right now.
No, that's great. That's great that you're writing, and all the best for lots of best wishes for your book. You said you
Thank
September, so we will wait for that day and when you come up with your book. And
you.
as you said, 30 years of teaching experience, 30 years of experience in the education field. But certainly, sometimes if we see 30 years ago, being a woman, was it so easy for you to, handle everything, your family, your job? Was it that easy or how was it?
See, of course, I'll tell you one thing, very clearly. This is a public platform, I know that. But I have a very supportive family. And we are just, it's not really like a kind of, being a woman kind of a thing in the family and not doing anything like that. We have never, because, see, we have been educationally inclined and we have been, liberal in thinking. And whether it is my side of family or my in-law side of, my mother-in-law had been a teacher herself for 35 years. Right? So, so that's why there was no constraint as such, like being a woman not to carry on with work. And after, starting off with my work, with my profession, with my job, whether it is the husband or my child or anybody, around me, they have always been very, very supportive. Right now is like, whether it is, looking after the household, so the work is divided. Right. So it's not, like the man or a woman kind of thing. It is everybody is equal. If the woman can work outside, that is what, like my husband says. If a woman can go outside and work, why can't the husband work inside the house? That is his thinking, and which is very good, and which has been, which has enabled me to carry on for these 32 years. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been.
Yeah, of course, support from the family, that is the first thing to require. Because, yes, as you said, you had a very supportive family, and maybe because, like, even your family members, they were into teaching field. You told your mother-in-law, she was a teacher for 35 years and all. So maybe that was one of the reason that you got so much of the support from the family. Otherwise, yes, there are women who are working, but life is not so easy for them. Managing everything sometimes get difficult, and sometimes they have to give up their career. So yes, it happens sometimes, but it's really good to know that you got support from your family. And nextly, I would like to know, ma'am, like in your 32 years of career, you must be having, a lot of mentors or the people, who have inspired you or who have helped you to go ahead in your life. So would you like to just talk about some people?
There have been many, actually, like a lot of people who have influenced me and a lot of people who still influence me. I'm in touch still with my professors, with my previous principals, those who are alive, of course, right? And there are fellow principals, like we are on, like on WhatsApp and, other platforms, social media platforms. And I have been, they have been doing handholding and they have influenced me tremendously. In fact, when I was a teacher and language teacher, let me tell you this. I mean, I want to tell it to the world. God bless his soul because he is no more in this world. He, the principal, when I was teaching in the class, he just approached me and he said, "Krishna, one day you are going to be, reaching heights." That's what his words were. You're not going to limit yourself to be a teacher. You're going to reach heights. And coming from a principal, from there I learned, the first thumb rule of leadership, that, when you are working, the others must, you should take everybody else with you. You cannot just be authoritative in nature, right? When you take others with you, when you build everybody else, especially women, when you are straightening the other women's crown, okay, without letting the world know, your crown also gets straightened, isn't it? So many influencers have been there. People who have, when I say influencers, not the trending influencers that we see on Instagram, but yes, influencers, educational, like influencers. Previously, prior to this, where I was working as a principal, the chairperson was a great, the person who has influenced me a lot. I have learned a lot, the principalship. I have learned from there. And there are lots and lots of people who have actually built me up. It's not that, just the passion. Passion, of course, is there, which, pushes you ahead. But for that push, people, pushing you from the back is also required, right? And sometimes, it's not only just the people who you look up to. It is the people who look up to you. They also push you, to better yourself. And I have been fortunate these, 15, 18 years of my principalship. My staff, God bless them all. God has actually blessed me to have the best of staff wherever I have been. Best staff. And I'm still in touch with everybody for so many years. And they still, talk to me, they call me, try to, find my, my well-being and all those things. So, which is really, really touching, which actually is fulfilling for me, that, this is actually the real achievement, not the awards and the rewards that I keep getting. Right?
Well, that's really great that, yes, of course, we come across many people who influence us. Some of them, we reach to them, and the others who reach to us, we learn from everyone. And
Yeah.
as you were telling about you, I must say you're really a very good person at heart, because for so many years you have been in this field, and you have been principal in 3 schools, some 15 to 16 years, but still you are in touch with every one of them. So that was really a very good thing to know. That's really great. Maintaining relationships, that is, that is not that easy. And
That
we
is the
have to be
only
a good
thing.
person in the first place to, maintain all this.
Relationship is more important. That
Yeah.
is the only thing that you carry to the grave with you. Right? Yeah.
Of course. And ma'am, nowadays, especially after the pandemic, we have got, so much of tech savvy. We have, earlier it was not that. Nowadays we have WhatsApp groups, we'll be sending messages and all. So a lot of technology has entered, and even in the teaching field, we have a lot of, the e-learning systems, and everywhere technology is there. So what, according to you, the technology that has entered into this education field, how good it is for the educators and for the children?
See, as I said earlier also just now, that, like a few minutes back, education system itself has metaphors, metaphors into different this thing. And we have to go with the flow. I cannot be what I was as a teacher 30 years ago. Okay. The students of today will kick me out. Right? I have to be in sync with whatever is happening around me. I have to be, if I have to cater to the needs of the students today, okay, I have to be, up to their mark and their level also. I have to, update and upgrade myself. When I say I and myself, I talk about the entire education, like educators and the field, right? So we have to be updated. We have to be, because times are different. Okay, and technology infusion is actually the need of the hour right now. The millennials will not accept us. The we are into the Zen kind of children coming in now, right? A time will definitely come when they'll talk about something I read just recently. That a teacher was a parent was asking a child that do you know something about soil, do you know something about plants? So the child replies, yes, the teacher showed us something like in some of the books and all, and there is something in which the seed is put. This is the kind of time that is going to come very soon, where I think at this you remain rooted, at the same time you adapt and adopt to whatever is happening around you, right? Yes.
Yes, we have to, we educators have to remain one step ahead nowadays.
Ahead.
We have to adapt.
Exactly.
Because I have seen, like,
Yes.
I teach in a college, so you can understand in a college they will be having their own phones, and they are so upgraded. So there are incidences where they will stand up and say, "Sir, you are wrong. Ma'am, not this. This didn't happen. This was actually this." So
Yeah.
they know better than us. They know better than us, and we have to be really just go ahead of
Yeah.
it.
They are the most intelligent lot that this generation, especially during our times, we weren't that kind. We were not so well versed. Yeah, they are very intelligent. So to cater to their intelligence, we need to be, of course, as you said, we need to be not one step or two steps, but 10 steps ahead. Yeah.
We have to be really ahead of it.
Yes.
And ma'am, because you're a principal and the founder principal, especially now that you're working. So will you just share something about your school, like some of the unique activities you must be taking for the children, along with your teachers and all? Any unique?
Yeah. Actually, the thing is that, this school, Mihali, it's still at a very fledgling level. Okay. And fledgling state where the wings have just sprouted. Okay. And we have had just, we started from 3rd of April, this April itself. And then the summer break happened. So, much light cannot be thrown right now. But yes, the pedagogical skills and the methodologies, to be adopted, all have been, well in place, and we are yet to start. Yes. So I cannot throw much light on that, yes, right now.
Yeah.
But so this one. And so the children do not become, couch potatoes. So physical activities, I actually need to emphasize more upon, especially nowadays.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Yes, we should be encouraging them for all the physical activities. In fact, many types of activities should be there. Otherwise,
Yes,
just
absolutely.
teaching, they want
Scholastic, extra scholastic, there's, you name them and we have them. But then, as I said, it's at a fledgling stage, so things have been streamlined, but still the schools are still, in a summer break mood. So we are gearing ourselves up. A lot of teacher trainings are happening, so in the school, and syllabus planning, and at the macro and the micro level, it is happening. Yes, everything is being chalked out. See, a balance has to be created. That is what my mission is actually. A balance of, bringing academic excellence with creativity, okay, and with some compassion into it also. So these three things, I think, are the need of the hour. These three things only are going to, fill up the darkness in the crevices that are prevalent in the society. So when these three things, this is my mission. So these three things, when they are in sync with each other, and accordingly, when the syllabus is planned, when the curriculum is planned, okay, when the activities are planned, everything falls into place, and that is what brings about not only the success for the students but for the institution as well. Right?
Yes, of course, ma'am. Of course, that as you were talking about compassion, creating a balance, that is more important because it doesn't matter what school you're studying, what language you're studying, what particular course you're studying. But before that, we are all human beings. Our ethics, moral values, and our traditions, everything, it should be there. We should not just work on producing students coming out of the schools and the colleges with some degree and certificates, but we should try to make them good human beings in the very first place. That is more important than second.
Yes. And when these three things get aligned, and then what happens is there is a kind of harmony that is created in the environment around. Okay, and that becomes the talking point, the carrying point for the students to go outside the world. That is my mission and my vision, when they go out, not as just, Mehali kids, but, they should be, like as human beings also, like they'll be spreading and they'll be making a difference in the society. Let's see, let peace prevail after that.
Yeah, well, that's really good. And ma'am, one more question from you. Now, what do you think? What are some of the skills that an educator should be have according to the present era? Well, there are a lot of skills. There are a lot of skills, but according to you, some 3 to 4 skills that are very necessary, that are really essential for every educator.
There are many skills that need to be, there with the educator. Just to define them in 2 or 3, I think will be, not justifiable, I suppose, right?
You can get more than that, but according to you, what is the most important? Some of them, at least.
In what sense do you wish me to tell you? Academically or teaching wise?
Anything you can say. Just tell what according to some of the skills that each educator should have.
Skills, there are so many skills that, as I said, like first of all, they should have the, whatever they are doing, okay, they should have a thorough knowledge of that, and skills wise, yes. So, it should not be just, they should not feel that, okay, this is what I have read and this is what I'm going to do in the class and finish it off. It's not like that, right? Then confidence in themselves, that is actually a skill, right? So, once they have.
And please unmute yourself.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. Hello.
Please continue. Please continue.
Yeah. So, and self-driven. That is what I feel. See, other skills, the mechanical skills, those are will fall into place once they have these skills with them, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I know that it is very difficult, to just list out the skills. This is more important, or this is least important, not. But yes, all these skills we require because we have to keep the class engaging. We have to look after that. The students understand, they grasp, and they don't just get the information; they get the knowledge. Then that is more important. So we have to work on a lot of skills. And before ending the session, just a small message from you for all the audience who are watching us.
My message. For the parents, actually, it should be like, from the children's point of view. Nowadays, we have different kinds of parents. all the parents, they want the best, of course, for the children, as a mother, even I want the best for my child. But what I feel is that it should not be given on the platter, whatever the children want. Situations should be created, where the child or children should, challenge themselves. Okay. And they should compete with themselves. Okay. And why they're calling. I'm so sorry again for the disturbance. Then when they become their own competitors, they learn to, come out of it themselves. They learn to fight for themselves. They learn to rediscover themselves, the children, right? And once they do that, they get strengthened. Okay, they get the motivation, of standing on their own without being dependent on anybody else. So that is what my message is, that, children should be made to face the challenges rather than parents catering to their needs and fulfilling their needs every time. That kind of situation should be created even at home. It's equally it's not just, the task of the teacher to teach everything. The parents equally have the, on the equal footing, they should be there with hand-holding with the teachers as well. I always give an example whenever there is, when the parents come for admission for inquiries, I always tell them this. And I think all the parents who have joined this platform and they are listening from various, means, they would know that this is my standard example, that pyramids were not built in a day, right? Not Rome, I'm talking about pyramids, okay? The saying goes that Rome was not built in a day, of course, but pyramids were not built in a day. There were, specific calculations that were done, accurate calculations that were done, okay? Because of those calculations, because of those challenges of bringing those heavy stones, by the slaves, okay, carrying it, that passion, that zeal, that enthusiasm, that challenge, that competition, okay, that, thing for improving, for making something which has stood the test of time. Okay, so that is what, the parents and the teachers need to understand. That if they want the end result, this is how they need to work.
Wow, this is really a great message. Yes, for the teachers, the parents should be understanding this. We have to prepare the children to face the challenges, the problems that are like occurring in their life. We should not be just, the parents and the teacher, parents especially, we just stand behind them to solve each and everything. We have to make them problem solvers also. That is very important. That was really a very great message coming from you. And thank you very much.
All these things combined, when children are given this platform, rediscovering themselves, improving themselves, with this challenge when they are faced. So what will happen is automatically compassion will flow, automatically excellence will flow. As Mehali has the tagline of, weaving the future. Today we need to understand and we have to weave the future for them.
That's great. You're really working with a great mission, and I can see so many times, you have talked about compassion. So that's really great. That's really a very required thing. We should be developing in ourselves, and then it is a very positive feeling. We talked about compassion, we talked about excellence, and all. So it was really great talking to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the forum. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. And thank you very much for joining with us. It was really a great interaction and knowing about you and knowing your views, so great views that you have as an educator. You're a very good leader. In fact, I can say I have talked to today. And thank you for joining with us. Thank you for sharing your journey, sharing your views and thoughts with us. And a special gratitude to Ravi Shankar sir, the founder of IUN Group of Companies, who takes so many efforts to bring so many good educators, so many good speakers every day. So thank you one and all. Thank you, Dana Lasmi, and thank you, CMD Zeenat ma'am, for their efforts for making this show live and making this show a great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye.